G'day, I'm Das. This is my workshop. I've finally made it onto the premier Volkswagen channel of Australia, down under Dubs. I feel pretty chuffed to be on here, I've got to say. I guess welcome to the shop. It's a good opportunity for me to kind of tell you guys, you know, where I'm at and what I've been doing and why I got into this stuff, rather than going through, you know, the builds that you probably normally see me doing, you know, in my style. So definitely cool to be doing something a little bit different. I'll give you a bit of a history about where and why I love Volkswagens. I mean, I was that weird kid in high school that didn't like, you know, Geminis and Tiranas and, you know, Monaros, and my dream was always to have a Porsche-powered Volkswagen. That's what I always said I was going to have, a Porsche-powered Volkswagen. Now, I haven't quite got to that stage, but I do have some pretty hot V-dubs, you know, and I'm pretty proud of the collection that I've made. I started getting back into them probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. And at the same time, kind of started making my own YouTube channel, Das Customs, which some of you might be familiar with. The cars that I've currently got are kind of the second tier of cars that I started to make, you know, and I'm very, very proud of what I've managed to accomplish with these cars. These are some of the kind of dream Volkswagens that I, you know, that I could have had. And, you know, as you guys know, working on V-dubs can be pretty frustrating at times, and actually getting to a point where you have some cool cars is pretty nice. My kind of style of cars is a little bit different than, you know, what everyone else does. I've always loved the custom. I love the custom, you know, so what I try and do with my V-dubs is do stuff that's just a little bit different. Like, it's not the kind of, you know, it's not a cowl look or a this look or a that look. I like to have cars that are kind of a bit of this and a bit of that. My favorite look in the V-dub was that late 80s, 90s look, that real smooth show car look in the V-dubs. And I think it's gonna be having a big comeback, that look. I mean, if you could have told me, you know, 5 years ago or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, that I'd be at this stage sitting here amongst a collection of my favorite cars, I mean, you know, I'm pretty chuffed, you know, I gotta say I'm pretty chuffed. It's like, when I can come down here, my workshop's under where I live. So, you know, it's when I can come down here when I'm feeling stressed out or whatever, and just, you know, start wrenching on one of my cars for a couple of hours, it is, you know, it's a very good feeling. I, you know, can't go any further without mentioning my wife, Carla, who is just so supportive of what I do. You know, it'd be remiss of me, I don't talk about her much on my channel, but it'd be remiss of me to actually not give her a bit of a, you know, or shout out and just a major thank you for being so supportive in my choices, you know, my crazy choices that I do. You know, so thanks, darling, I really appreciate it. We'll get onto the rat trap here. I mean, this poor little car, it's seen a lot, you know. I picked this car up 5 years ago. It was rusting away in a paddock down in Gunnellabar, which is a bit south of here, and you know, I paid too much for it, I got to admit. The lady who I bought it off had just lost her husband, and she had 2 young boys, and when I met her and her kids, I didn't even want to haggle with her. I actually gave her a bit more than what she was asking for the car. And if you saw the original photos of it, it didn't have a panel on it. It was just completely rusted out. But what I fell in love with, this had obviously been a 90s restoration. The color, it's not an original Volkswagen color, it's actually a Ford color. And the way that the paint was just falling off it, I knew this car had to be mine. And I knew that eventually I'd be able to get it to look like this. It's been through a few incarnations, let me say. It's had, you know, at least 3 or 4 sets of wheels on it. At one stage it had a big rat graffitied up the side of it. A friend of mine, you know, who's a very famous graffiti artist, did that for me. But when I kind of started looking at the car, I really wanted to just bring it back down. And by down, I mean down and back, you know, like kind of smooth out the edges, make it look a bit more low key, but just in a very, very slammed kind of way. So the 50 Shades, I mean, all cars, you know, in my workshop, they end up with a name. It's just so I can refer to them. And for obvious reasons, it's called the 50 Shades. This car was built around a set of wheels that I bought at a swap meet. They're Convo Street Pros. And they're staggered set of wheels. It's 18s on the back and 15s on the front. And I have built this whole car to suit that set of wheels. And it wasn't easy, I can tell you that, but it's just about there. This thing is probably as far as I've gone with a V-dub in my career so far. The engine in this is a 2110, and Kydra had built most of the engine too. It's a CB Performance engine. It has all the fruity bits. Like, he was one of them dudes that just bought lots of really, really cool parts. And this thing, when it actually gets running, is very rowdy. I've custom made all the exhaust. I've custom made basically every single piece on this car. It's been a lot, and it's booked in for engineering this week. So hopefully you'll get to see it soon on the street. This thing is going to be, you know, it's going to be a real head turner. Well, I'd like to claim ownership of this one, but you know, I can't really, seeing as though I bought it for my darling wife. This is her 71 Deluxe bay window. And you know, admittedly, like, I always wanted a split, but there's a couple of guys in our crew that have like early bays, low lights as we call them. Josh being one of them, Tony being another. And you kind of start to, you know, appreciate the style of the low light. This thing's pretty cool. I bought it off a local guy. He'd kind of had it for a fair few years and got it to a stage, and I think he just had to get rid of it, you know. So we got a pretty good price on it. We want to build it up as a camper. It's got a big engine in it. It's a 2161 from a company called Powerhouse. Now, we called this thing blue for obvious reasons, but there's also a subtle reason why this car is called blue. This car was built or is being built in honor of my younger brother, Narayan Johnson. Narayan was a accomplished musician, and one of the most beautiful songs he actually wrote was a song called Blue. He unfortunately passed away a year ago, so you know, in his honor, I'm doing what I love, which is building a Volkswagen, you know, to honor his memory. And you know, blue seems to be the thing that's doing that.